There is an old saying, the half of the world is composed of people who have something to say but can't, and others have nothing to say and keep saying. Here lies the importance of effective presentation. Respected teacher and my classmate, good afternoon and welcome to my presentation. As many of you already know or may not know, this is Mainul Hassan. I am here today to speak to you about presenting. Particularly, I will focus on the basic structure of an effective presentation. I have divided my talk into three parts. Firstly, I will define what presentation is. Then I will go on to speak about the basic structure of an effective presentation. And finally, I will talk about some tips and techniques for an effective presentation. My talk will last for about 3 minutes and I will happy to answer your question at the end of my presentation. So right, let's get started. To begin with, what presentation is. Presentation is a means of communication which can be adapted various speaking situations such as talking to a group, addressing a meeting and briefing a team. Moving on now to the next point. Basic structure of an effective presentation. There is a golden rule of a presentation which is say what you are going to say it and say what you have just said. It clearly indicates that a presentation has an introduction, a body and a conclusion. In introduction, you should address and greet your audience appropriately, followed by the introduction of yourself and your partners if you have. Then you should mention the purpose of your presentation clearly and be sure that you have outlined your talk. At the same time, it's important to inform your audience how much you will take and when you will deal with questions. And don't forget to use signaling expressions when you move one point to another. Now let's move on to the main body of the presentation. Here you can organize all the main points of your presentation and you can share some relevant example. Your talk should grab the attention of the audience and it must be to the point, appropriately discussed so that your audience are convinced. This brings me to the end of my presentation. To sum up, I'd like to say that everyone can give a speech, but not everyone can give an effective speech. To give an effective speech, the golden rule of presentation must be taken into consideration, and you should be prepared before you talk. During presentation, you should stay relaxed and pay attention to all details, and you should be optimistic about your successful presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience hearing. Then you can deal with questions. That's all for today. Assalamu alaikum.